Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to talk a bit about the new trailer that just came out for season 2 of Doctor Who. I guess this would be the second trailer, the third trailer, however you want to look at it. It looked good. I liked the Phil Collins song. I like that song in general. And it kind of fits with the Doctor trying to get Belinda home. I do like the fact they seem to be hearkening back to the early days of Doctor Who. Um, when the Doctor couldn't necessarily steer the TARDIS, and some of his companions were with him, kind of unwillingly, in the sense he couldn't take them home, much like Ian and Barbara, for example. And they were just kind of stuck with him. It seems like it's really calling back to that first and second season of classic Doctor Who, with him, the Doctor, not able to quite steer the TARDIS, and him not able to get Belinda home immediately, and having to take the long way around, as he says, and end up on these other adventures while he's trying to get her home. I like that as an idea. Um, Belinda and the Doctor look good in the scenes we get here. They seem very into what's going on, which I like. It seems like we have a nice variety of episodes. I really like the animation one. It looks interesting from the trailers. The character of Mr. Ring-a-Ding, or whatever his name is, Ring-a-Ling, looks like an interesting character. The Doctor and Belinda being animated is interesting. I wonder if they'll make some kind of nod, Easter egg joke to some of the lost stories being animated. Some kind of, I don't know how you do it, but some kind of quip from the Doctor or something about how it's not his first time being animated. That would be interesting for me. And the animation style kind of looks like some of the animations from the 60s. The animations that we've gotten of some of the 60s stories. That's interesting to me. Um, I like the horror episode, which looks very unit focused with Ruby. I liked Ruby a lot in season one. I thought Millie Gibson's a very good actress, especially to be as young as she is and to be that good. She really carried 73 yards by herself, practically. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of her. I love a good horror themed Doctor Who episode, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on with that. I'm curious to see the Interstellar episode looks interesting. I'm curious to see what they do with that. I mean, Doctor Who is very much that kind of show where it's built into the DNA of the show, where it can do anything, anything. You can really do so many different things. So I'm really curious to see if they push the boundary on that and really try to do something different, like, say, The Mind Robber. Very different story. Very, very Doctor Who at its finest, in the fact that it takes the concept of the show and really exercises the Doctor can go anywhere. Same thing with Celestial Toymaker. So I'm curious to see if we get something like that this season. The special effects look good. You can actually see where the Disney money went this season. The effects look impressive. I'll admit I'm looking forward to watching it. I liked about 4 out of the 8 episodes from season one. I thought were pretty good, with the other 4 being not necessarily that great to me. So it was kind of half and half. And if season 2 has that kind of ratio, looks like we're getting 8 episodes, then I could settle for a mixed bag season. Hopefully, it'll have a better finale. I didn't like Empire of Death at all, but the trailer does have me looking forward to it. At least I can say I um I'm glad the marketing is finally kicking in for this. It's nice to see that they're finally paying some attention to it with posters, more trailers, international trailers, that they are hyping this up a little bit for people, since it is going to be dropping in just really a couple weeks, just over a couple weeks. April 12th, right around the corner. So I did like the trailer. It did have me intrigued to watch the show. It looks interesting. I like the variety of episodes. So let's go ahead, and I'll switch over and we will discuss the episode title reveals. And the season 2 episode titles have been announced as well. We'll take a look at those and the writers for each one. Looks like the first episode will be called The Robot Revolution, and it's written by Russell. We have Lux, which is also written by Russell. I get the feeling that's probably the one set in the 60s. When we see them in the evening dress, that kind of looks like that to me. We have The Well, which is also written by Russell and, what is that, Sharma Angel Waffle? I may have butchered that name. And then we have Lucky Day, which of course Pete McTeague returning. I think Lucky Day is supposed to be the one that mostly focuses on Ruby and Unit, maybe a Dr. Light story, which I liked 73 Yards and Dot and Bubble. They were my two favorite stories last season, so that could work. I do want to see more of Ruby, and it's nice having Kate back. Kate's kind of hit or miss depending on the story, but I do feel like she's been better lately. So I am looking forward to Lucky Day and seeing what Pete does. I know Pete also writes the shorts for the collection range, and a lot of those have been really good, really, really good. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do with the show proper now that he's got another chance to write for it. The Story and the Engine, that one sounds interesting, by, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Anua Elms. I probably butchered that. My apologies if she sees this video or he sees this video. I really don't know if they see this video. I'm really not familiar with that writer. We have the Interstellar Song Contest by Juno Dawson. That one could be interesting. My understanding is that Juno has a bit of a colorful personality, so I'm curious to see what she does with this story. Especially, it looks interesting. It looks so over the top, kind of like the song number in season one. Which song number didn't really bother me. I don't know why it was there, but it didn't really bother me. It's interesting. I'm curious to see what they do with that one. It could go either way for me. And then we have Wish World, which is written by Russell, of course, and then The Reality War, which is written by Russell. And I'm assuming Wish World and Reality will be a two-parter. The Reality War. I'm assuming that will be a two-parter. And look, I'm guessing from the poster teases we got from these, that scene in the first trailer where we saw Mel with all the houses around her is probably from the finale. I mean, I could see Mel also being maybe in Lucky Day because she works for Unit, and I hope she is. I love Mel, which is odd to say because I didn't used to like Mel at all in the classic series, but I'm appreciating Mel more through Big Finish and the modern series, even if I didn't like quite what they did with her in Empire of Death. But I like Bonnie Langford. I think that's better to say. I like Bonnie Langford. But I'm curious to see what they do with her here in the finale, because I think she'll be in the finale, because I'm assuming Wish World and Reality Wars, a two-parter. Now, I wish there were more writers, because it looks like Russell works on 5 of these, I think. Yeah, he writes the first episode, the second episode, co-writes the third episode, and then writes the last 2 episodes. So that's, what, 4.5? I mean, he has writing credits on 5 of the 8 stories. Now, part of that is simply because there's only 8 stories. And if they had more stories, I'm sure we'd have more guest writers. If we had a 10 or 13 episode season, I'm sure we'd have more guest writers. But I really feel like he only needed to be on 3. The first one and then the last 2. Because the last 2 are typically a two-parter. Probably an over-the-top two-parter, because that's just what Russell does. He does these over-the-top season finales that constantly seem to have to top themselves and gets a little ridiculous. I like Stolen Earth and Journey's End, but it's a little ridiculous. Um, so I really think he should have just written the Robot Revolution or whatever the first episode would have been, and then he should have written the last 2. And then I think you should have had guest writers write the others with maybe some input from him for seasonal arc stuff. But I really think you should get more guest writers. I'm interested to see Pete McTeague back, because again, I like Kerblam, and Praxis is it's very mediocre. But I also love his short stories for the collection, so I'm curious to see what Lucky Day will be like. I'm curious to see what this actress here on the well is, or I don't know if that I'm assuming that's a woman by the name. I don't know. I'm curious what she'll bring to the well and what the well will be like. Again, the Interstellar Song Contest could go either way. I really have no idea what the story in the engine's about. Looked like it was was that the one that had the tease that looked like it was in a barber shop with a spider running across it? I guess that could be the one with the giant spider. Maybe they get caught in a kid's book somehow. I mean, they're already getting caught into a cartoon. Maybe they get caught inside a kid's book. Who knows? Um, and then Wish World and Reality War sounds interesting. I just wish we had a little more variety with the writers instead of having Russell working on 5 of the 8 stories. Personally, but the titles seem interesting. I mean, I'm not one of these people who get blown away by title reveals anyway. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be honest. My initial reaction when I saw the titles was just, okay, we have the titles. They're interesting titles. I mean, nothing jumps out like Ambassadors of Death or even Empire of Death. I remember first time I saw the title for Empire of Death, I was like, ooh, what a disappointment that was. But I still wish I had something like Terror of something or something of Death in there somewhere. I don't know why, I just do. But yeah, that's pretty much what we've got so far. I like the trailer. The titles look interesting. I wish we had more variety with the writers, but I'm curious to see what the show's going to do. I'll definitely be watching it and doing reviews for all of it, and probably reaction videos for my patrons, picture-in-picture reaction videos for them. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on the newest trailer and the titles we've gotten so far. Comment down below. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. I do have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. There is a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Colin Coney, Sam Venning, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their support. So do the support of all of my patrons. It's very much appreciated. It does help keep the bills paid. I also have a P.O. box if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. Love getting fan mail. Makes my day. Links to the Amazon wish list are down there. Links to the Amazon wish list as well. Most importantly, thank you for watching.